Hello? Caught myself again. Didn't say, at least not intentionally. Uh, I can never get over being bare chested on camera and putting it out there to the world, but that's my life, and well, I'm sure you're at least a lot more conditioned to it than I am, possibly. Intense few days, positives in there, but lots of real darkness, but being tackled in a different way. And the irony is, depression's the easy way out, man. Depression's the easy way out. What I'm, the way I've been tackling it, trying to listen to life, trying to be sincere, trying to be a good person. It seems so volatile and destructive in itself, you know. And the thing in my mind is that the positives are just like, how can I put it? The positives are there's no solidity to them. They're positive at the end of the day, and for all I know, they're worth their weight in gold. But I don't know it now. So right now, that gold might as well be charcoal. So it really doesn't give me strength at the moment. But I'm aware of the situation, and I suppose in a certain, no, it doesn't give me hope at the moment. It doesn't give me strength at the moment. But I continue with it because I know it's possible that it could bear fruit, and wallowing in depression, or at least that's not what I'm doing, but that's possibly what I would have done. So I've got to keep on. But essentially, I've been trying to snap out of what's been going on for me in terms of mental health all day. And I know essentially what I'm experiencing isn't worth a thing to get annoyed about. I've been over all these little annoyances, and it's almost like, right, this is the situation. I need to just forget them. They're just not worth shouting and disturbing others and putting my own putting myself at risk in terms of police and ambulances turning up at my door, and further stress that way. So I don't know what it is. It might be the full moon. I don't know if it's a full moon or what at the moment, but if I don't know if others are experiencing it, but it's like my body's just like seizing, you know. It's like really difficult to walk appropriately. But I don't want to get into this, so forget about all of the depression, blah blah blah. Essentially, yeah, I mean, I keep looking at life, and the way life has programmed me with everything is I look for solutions. Ironically, believe it or not, I just keep looking for solutions. The most practical, most absolute practical thing I can implement, given everything that I am, given everything I can raise my consciousness to in my life. So essentially, that is my life. And whatever I can see as the most productive thing to do, that's my pursuit. And I've mentioned it before, and I mentioned it earlier today before we got cut off, that hurling abuse, hurling emotional anger, whatever you've got going on for you, at some form of alien race, any alien race, good, bad, or the other, is it's the best thing we can do as human beings, you know. I don't think, I mean, and take this with a pinch of salt, but truly there isn't a human that I can think of that I will hold active anger towards, given my life and given the outside world. And really, that's how it should be, you know. We're here to live life, and if we're here to live, we might as well love. But ultimately, somehow we've all ended up in a bit of a, I don't know how to call it. I was going to say pigsty of a society, but it's not. It's we've just got a bit lost in everything, you know, as things have come together, as we've come together as countries, as we've come together as continents and nations, and we've got to take into consideration different aspects, and we learn, and then we have viruses, and then we have, you know, different things, the global warming, etc. We these things challenge us to evolve. And it's just like, in my mind, we haven't got the foundations right on a basic level across the whole world, since we're a whole world now, you know. We unite in different ways, through economies, through travel, and we're all aware of each other. So it's a case of, and I apologise for the tone of my voice, I've gone a bit whiny. It just happens from time to time. I've lost track. Basically, yes, we've all come together really as a planet. Never to this intensity have we ever been so aware of each other and interacting with each other. And we haven't worked out between every country, at least, a foundational understanding of what life really means. And you know, I can clearly see how, for instance, corporations, they ripped the world to bits last century, but through different things they're starting to come good to a certain extent. I mean, they must be corrupt and, you know, ultimately there for their shareholders. That is the foundation. But the evolution of that I acknowledge has come into play, possibly the last 20 years, maybe since Google sprung up. For instance, ethos, don't be evil. You know, and because they become so powerful, and because they understand the system of monopolies now, they'll it's almost like the foundation of corporations is to make money, as much money as possible. And that's what happened last century. Right, we're in it. We're not going to stop. Like what Facebook's original ethos was, and that was go fast and break stuff. You know, don't give a shit. Just earn the money. If needed, break laws as long as you put in place the right thing so you don't get caught. Earn the money. You know, that's all that matters, and that was last century. But with monopolies and with the understanding of competition, and it's very hard for me to speak at present with everything I've been going through today, but I know it's helping, and somehow getting into the flow of something I know is really helping. So if anybody is listening, thank you. Even the one person who's listening, thank you, because that's all I need in my mind, is that one person's listened to this, and expressing is all that matters. So I'm going to try and persist, and I might have a few unpleasant expressions on my face, but it's proving beneficial right now. And for instance, Facebook, I just saw them as corrupt. You know, there was rumours in school of the, you know, who funded them, blah blah blah, and I see them, and I can see a certain amount of pressure that's been put on them by society, by the people who should have over the years. And there's almost like with Facebook, it's more of a subtle softening, but you can see they have to show. That's the thing. They have to show that they're playing ball, and even if they have to show it, that's what matters. And ultimately, that really is it. If that's what we hold as the most valuable, and we really rip to shit anybody that really breaks those foundations of what a company should uphold. Ultimately, what will happen is one day the understanding will be there, and it will be clear within the society, within the corporation. It'll be like, right guys, today's meeting, we know the rules now. It's clear. If we break the rules of how we should behave and how we should act, and we get caught in doing the slightest thing wrong, people are just gonna, you know, we're gonna lose them, and we can't have that. And if they can communicate that exact message back to their shareholders, which they essentially have the main responsibility to, that's law. That's law. A corporation is there for their shareholders first. And you can hear emotions coming out of me a bit more than is appropriate for this message, but that's where I've been through today, so I think that's coming out. But let's try and continue and slowly remove the emotions bit by bit. And yeah, if we really, and I'm sure it's happening, you know, anyway. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to do a thing. It's happening anyway. But the moment that the corporations truly realise that, hang on a second, the risks we've taken in the past to earn money is no longer, putting ourselves almost first, you know, isn't almost appropriate. We have to just, the irony will be, we almost have to be selfless to the presentation of our image as a corporation to the people, with the understanding that presentation is what earns them the money. And the moment that happens, my theory, get this, and this, I didn't expect to say this, is that the suffering will be over for the entire planet. Within a very short space of time. And the moment one company does that, all the rest will feel it on some level, I'm sure. The consciousness just needs to be implemented. But as I said, it's happening anyway. I've given Facebook as the example, and Facebook, in my opinion, is it's one of the worst. But there are many others that it's a shame I can't recall right now to share. But no, I'm aware that companies are starting to get their act together. So yeah, right. We're going to talk about aliens. How have we gotten to companies now? Let's just rewind. I totally forgot. I was going to talk about how the best thing we can do is just to hurl abuse at aliens, good, bad, or the other. Oh, that's it. So on a societal level, with yeah, we go off on tangents, don't we? So on a societal level, and just to put this out there, the fact that I use we is not anything to do with my mental health problems. Not first and foremost, at least. It was a way of speaking that my uncle Vladimir taught me, and it stayed with me since. And I feel it quite encompassing. That's not the right word. It's quite. It creates a certain level of connection to the other individual, and I use it often as a result. So in case any doctors are watching this specific video, and I'm aware I've used the word we quite a few times. It's not anything between split personalities going on in my head, but something I've learned and I try to implement. So on a societal level, we've all sort of we've come together, but through what we've come together, and there's been a couple big wars and lots of smaller wars. The wars on the whole are dying out, you know. I mean, to a certain extent, which is a good thing in a way, considering how mental it was. America has just whitewashed the whole world, said, look, we're the world police. You want to go and be a bad guy? Fine. And they've just systemized war. And really, the active wars in the world are minimal compared to the past 50 years, 70 years. The amount of deaths must be reduced. I mean, again, it's the contradictions. Drones in the skies. I can't bear them. The thought of them is a total sickness. But in a way, it's like if they really are being used for just the absolute reason or good, however good that can be, and taking out the key individuals, then it will surely sort of reduce wars. You know, like we said the other day about the key warriors fighting each other. It's just like take out the top of the pyramid, and the pyramid will hopefully fall apart, and that's why hopefully wars have reduced. So in a strange way, we're coming together, and the problems have started to, of themselves, almost start cancelling themselves out. But it's just a bit too slow, you know. It's a bit too sick. It's a bit too parallel to the way we live, to the problems that are still active, and the consciousness to say, look, we're warm, we're well fed, the blah blah blah. We use money, and then, you know, someone else is. You can use your imagination. What I'm saying, but sorry, it's my mental health, the emotional aspects really getting to me, and I'm finding it very, very difficult just for a moment. So voicing that is hopefully going to help, and we'll be able to carry on. Essentially, that's where we are as a species, and we're here, and we're really. We give shit to each other on a daily basis, you know. At the moment we stop giving shit to each other, it's like, I'm sure the world would have to have been changed. There's no way we can't go out there into the world taking on stresses and not giving stress, you know. We can't take on stress and we're not designed for it. So we can try to really keep things in balance, but ultimately there's if we had all the energy in the world, wouldn't we just carry on doing as much good as we possibly could? And the stress is limiting us, if nothing more. And that's normal everyday life. And what am I trying to say is that sorry, bear with me. On a humanistic level, unless there's a spiritual conspiracy going on where most of the world is awakened and there's just a select few that are still asleep, and the whole world is acting it out, we're still pretty fucked up, man. We're still messed up as a species, you know. We've got to, at least I do, and I can't imagine everybody else is different to me, hold resentment and sees certain aspects to the world and doesn't see the truth in them. It's impossible, you know. Even on some level, it's like you'll see a homeless person and you see the juxtaposition between your own life and what theirs must be, and that's just putting it simply. And then the scale can go on with everything else, but ultimately that emotion you take on, and you can clear it out with your mind, but through everyday life over a period of a year, especially if your life is stressful and you don't have the ability to clean every little bit of emotion that you pick up in your mind, you're going to hold that in mind, and that you're going to hold it as pain. And ultimately we try to find balance with it, but what the hell are we doing holding on to it? 2222. What the hell are we doing holding on to it? When there's aliens in the sky, both good and bad, fucking us up, and sitting there twiddling their thumbs. It's unbelievable to myself. When we could take an active approach, and that stressed person who doesn't have the ability to clean with their mind can do it on a more simplistic level. And just they don't even have to express it, you know. It's like you can do it in a meditative state. I used to do it ages ago, just let anger pass through me, and you can do that with emotions. Aim it at the sky, to aliens. Feel that rage that you have towards the world, feel the anger, feel the sadness, feel the depression when it happens, and realise that it's absolutely pointless and useless and irrelevant, because there's people in the sky that are, one, doing it to us, and two, that it could help us and don't. And that baffles the out of me. So on a consciousness level, if they felt it, and they felt it from 8 billion people, maybe that'd give them a little kick up their backside. And I was complaining about energetic kicks up my backside the other day, but maybe we could give them a kick up at their backside, both the good and bad, to one, say, hey, look, stop, and two, say, look, help. And when I mean, to be honest, as I was trying to say earlier, forget the bad. The bad just need love. Ironically, that's the best thing we could do to them. So when you've got an excess amount of love, send it to the bad ones. And the good ones need to feel everything else. Keep it pure with the bad ones, just love. And really, my understanding of consciousness, and this isn't, I'm aware I referenced Pleiadians and Indians the other day, so I don't want this to get mixed up. And I'm going to keep it very clear so you're all aware. I see Indians and every human on this planet as one. No one's above each other, no one's below each other. I have no stigma against any race, any person, etc., etc. And I believe the Indians do have some sort of Pleiadian connection. I don't know exactly how or what. It might not even be true. It might be the Red Indians, which... No, it's probably the Red Indians. Sorry, the Indians. The Indian nation. India. But the Pleiadians in the sky, in my understanding, like, they're the most switched on ones. They're the most conscious. So, and they've got the biggest ears, ironically. So, not only are they the ones that really need to hear our pain, but they really need to feel it, because I don't understand how they can be conscious, more conscious than us, and do this. Because another element is through Drunvalo's work, Drunvalo Melchizedek. He's a spiritual teacher. I won't go into too much of his teachings, but in one of his books, he mentioned on how 7 planetary energies have come here to advance us as a species. But all along, there has been a lot of suffering going on. You know, there have been a lot of wars, a lot of people have died, a lot of famine. And considering that we're coming from places like ancient Egypt, ancient Greece, which really do sound quite almost like paradise to a certain extent compared to what we have. I mean, it's just like chilled out life. Can't imagine too many complications, a lot of socializing. That's my imagination. But look, either way, I look at them as quite advanced civilizations, especially in mind what they were able to achieve back then compared to what we are now, or at least what we're able to match with all of our technology. They were able to do with just their minds and sticks and stones. So to me, that sounds like they're more intelligent than us. But anyway, since then, we've seen a lot of suffering worldwide, and they've apparently been advancing us. So whatever their lesson is, they're willing to give us a certain level of slap round the face as part of the teaching. And I'm saying, hang on a second, guys, look, I appreciate that's the way you teach, but as a human being, I don't appreciate that when I try so hard. I don't wish to suffer, I don't need to suffer, to my understanding, to learn, to grow, to advance. And if I do, then, like ironically, one of your teachers, the Thich Nhat Hanh, he's Pleiadian, you can tell by his big ears, really high consciousness. But his guidance is, you know, with punishment, make it a preset understanding. Look, Andreas, if you... I'm going to give you 2 weeks detention. Okay, I accept. That seems fair. I know in advance, and even if I wait 6 days, I can do it on the 7th. And do you see what I'm trying to say? As long as both people are aware, we're both on the wall. When the punishment does come, it's like, fair enough. I messed up, you know. I got to day 6 and I slept all day 7, and it's not fair. I mean, it's fair. I accept it. I get detention, and you learn. You know, I'll aim for the 5th day next time, and then you sleep, and then you go for a party, and right, the 4th day, and the 4th day works. And you know, the 4th day is, you know, your buffer zone. You get as much rest as you want for 4 days, but you have to do it on the 4th day, and you make yourself do it on the 4th day because you don't want to risk it. But I'm saying, however the individual is, they have the power to empower themselves, and it's always going to be fair, you know. I don't want to be punished anymore, guys. Ironically, with a astrology poster behind his head. To learn. I don't want to be punished to live. I don't want to be punished to advance. I don't want to be punished for material possessions. I don't want to be punished for spiritual enlightenment. you know, it's madness. It's like, are we little kids or what? So maybe if everyone else adopts the same mentality, and all of a sudden they get a voice back saying, hang on, they don't like getting hit. Surely everyone likes getting hit when they learn that. We love it. And then they learn. How else? We've never interacted with them, maybe. Surely if they've come to advance us, how many times are they going to advance us? You know, it's going to be the one time. So they just need to hear, look, advance us if you want, but don't beat the shit out of us. It's just an idea to deal with your to deal with our own problems in a way. I see the most bloody practical, man. Because at the end of the day, if you've got problems with another individual on this planet, holding active aggression to them in any way is just going to be like, it's going to cause yourself problems. If you can remove that aggression because you realise they're a dumb idiot because of the situation of the world, because of the aliens in the sky that are here to help, that aren't really helping, and that's caused this situation. So he's pretty much in the same situation as me. I'm pretty much in the same situation as him. And we go round and round, and hopefully awareness is raised to realise there's not a lot of difference, and what we're squabbling about is as a result of society. And society is a result of Big Brother in the sky. Big Brother? Nah. Distant cousin in the sky. So here, distant cousin in the sky, can you stop beating the shit out of me? I'm disturbing my neighbours. I don't wish to disturb my neighbours. My neighbours are disturbing me. I don't wish them to disturb me. Anyway, and pass the message about, innit?